Good morning everyone, my name is Crystal. Welcome to my YouTube channel. It's Monday the 9th of June 2025. Monday, yeah, the weekend's gone. I hope everybody enjoyed their weekend. I spent my weekend relaxing on my own at home. I enjoyed my weekend. I was able to do what I wanted to do, and it was quite peaceful. So I've got no complaints about my weekends. I got things done, and everything's fine. So I was up already. I just got up actually, and I put the kettle on, and then I went into the bathroom to get dressed and wash and dressed, whatever. And I noticed that my mum had left me a message on my mobile phone. So she's rung early this morning. I spoke to her yesterday. She had Sue in her flat and she didn't really want to speak to me. So this morning she's rung me early in the morning. So I'll probably listen to my mother's answer phone message and see what she says, but it's usually wishing me to have a good day. That's all it is. I'm managing okay on my own. Mentally I feel a lot better, especially not answering my mum's phone call all the time. I feel mentally a lot better. I feel relaxed, and doing that. Everything's fine. I want to sit on the table. So yeah, I'm feeling okay. I must admit though, I've got up, I think a lot of people do on a Monday morning, feeling a bit, I don't know what it is, it's just the Monday morning feeling, I guess. Oh, I've got to go and do stuff, and I just don't know, I just don't feel like I've got any get up and go this morning. I don't know why. Last night I took Max out for a walk, usual time. So I've been taking Max out for the last 3 years at the same time. The only thing that's changed is more people have moved down to this area, more flats are being built, and it's just got a bit more like London. So I just took Max out about 10 to 7, went down the stairs, went out the communal door, carried on walking up to the top of the road, and it's always busy by the local co-op. Anywhere's busy that's got shops, train stations, hotels, so it's more busy up the top of the road than it is down the middle and the bottom. In the afternoon there had been about 5 or 6 skateboarding young people walking down the road towards the car park, because that's where they skateboard, inside a car park. They've been doing that for ages as well, and they've got older. We've all got 3-4 years older, so that the kids that used to play in the car park have got 4 years older. And they were walking past the over 55 flats where Charlie, the guy that stalks me, had gone into Sunday morning. Now, I didn't see anybody in those over 55 flats. I didn't see one person walking around apart from Charlie, who was going into like the back entrance of the flats. He was going in there. And he turned round and he stared at me, and I just looked the other way. I don't want to engage. As soon as you start to speak, then he will come over and start talking and thinking it's okay. No. So I just turned my back on him and walked off the field in the afternoon. In the evening, all I could hear was kids screaming in that car park, yelling. And it's right opposite those over 55 flats, right opposite it. I wouldn't like to live in there at all. So that's all I could hear. There was one couple walking behind me at first, a blonde lady and a guy with black hair. And then I let them walk past. And then that's when I saw kids near the crane, laughing, screaming by that crane. So I slowly walked behind the couple, and he had a number 12 on his t-shirt, number 12. Now, I'd uploaded a video before I went out saying that I had 13 hot pink balloons, 13 of them. So this guy's got 12 written on his t-shirt. I don't know how their minds work. I don't know how they work. They're not wired the same way as me. And I'm totally different. My mind thinks totally different. Do you know what I'm saying? I don't join in bullying. I don't join in harassment. I couldn't be cruel to somebody. I don't know how their minds work at all. They make you feel guilty for everything that you do. And it's just a simple video about blowing up balloons. I don't understand their mindset at all. So apart from this couple, it's all staged, it's all orchestrated. Every time I go out, and it all starts with a phone call from my mother as well. My mother rings. And I don't really talk to my mother because she speaks like she's reading from a script. I mean, if I was her daughter, she doesn't talk to me like a daughter. She talks to me like someone she's ordering about, someone she's like a work colleague. She doesn't talk to me like a member of the family. It's a script. And I don't want to say that. She says, hello, this is your mother, speaking from her landline phone, talking like Camilla Parker Bowles to me. She drew a caricature of King Charles with his big ears on an envelope that she sent me the other day. I don't find this at all funny. What happened to Princess Diana was cruel and nasty. She was handed by the press. She didn't deserve to die like that in a car crash. And taking the mickey out of a woman that was respected when she was alive, loved. She was the most beautiful woman on the planet at that time in 1997. And what the hell is this? I'm going into people's TikToks and they're mocking Diana. In comments, they're mocking Princess Diana. At least leave the woman to rest in peace. Keep mentioning the car crash. And what I read in someone's comment was absolutely disgusting. Why TikTok allowed them to comment something like that, including Princess Diana's name, was disgusting. I don't know what's wrong with people at all. So last night, I feel like a film. Like I'm being hunted and made fun of, but it doesn't work because I don't feel scared of them. They make me laugh. They hide in bushes, they hide so you think you can't see them, and they yell things out and scream and holler. It reminds me of a horror film where someone is being hunted. It's just awful. Last night it was so creepy. It was creepy, it was like a horror film. There's never anyone about on that field now when I go out, apart from like homeless, drunken people laughing, rocking in their tents. And the other night one was staring at me. Yesterday morning there was one singing and laughing in his tent. It's orchestrated. Every time I go out, the people that are put on the streets, I know it sounds absolutely ridiculous, but if you look up gang stalking, if you look up street theatrics and what these people do to cover up the crimes that they've done, and they're also being paid. I mean, who would actually want to live on a field? And it was absolutely pouring it down the day before yesterday. Who would want to live homeless on a field in this weather? Someone is clothing those people and feeding them, and they must be having a shower somewhere as well. So they're going somewhere, and then they're coming back to the tents each night. It's the first time I've actually seen or heard one of them in their tent in the morning. That was yesterday. They're usually out all day and then they come back at night. So they are clothed, they've got bicycles and they're eating. But why would you want to live on a tent? And I told you that Charlie has got something to do with it, because he's hanging around near them. And he's watching me. He knows I'm there. He's watching. He turned round, stared me right in the face, and I turned my head back round. Just being stalked and watched. I'm not his property. I spoke to him a couple of times. It doesn't make me his, does it? It doesn't make me his property, does it? Because I talked to him a couple of times. That's why I need to move away from him. And that's why I can't, when I do move, disclose where I'm going, because he walks everywhere with his dog, and he walks miles. How do I not know that? I mean, it gets freaky, doesn't it, that he is stalking in the internet as well, and he's one of these people talking to me on TikTok or coming into my live streams, because there's someone that keeps coming in that is being rude and horrible. Just one person. And I can look after myself. I bought myself, excuse me, I bought myself some balloons. The hot pink ones. I've got some like glow-in-the-dark balloons coming. Glow-in-the-dark ones. They should be interesting. They just make fun of me, and they think that I've got nothing, and they think I've got nothing to eat, and I'm a decent size and I can look after myself, and that's what I'm doing. And I just don't take any notice of it anymore. And for goodness sake, I don't turn around if I do have a bad day or I haven't got very much. I don't tell them my business, because they don't help. They just laugh in your face and make it worse. They're not friends. They're evil. So I'm just relaxing and, you know, just not being as open about everything to these people. because these people aren't nice. I've never come across anything like it. It's like a cult of something awful where they're all in it together. It's awful. The mental strain, when I first realised what was going on, the mental strain I was suffering, I thought it was going round the bend. I thought it was in my head. And then I looked up stalking, and then it led to gang stalking, where neighbours and people, loads of people can be involved in it, not just one. And they do follow you, and they do make your life a misery. It's awful. Now I just take a laid back approach, and I don't get hit up because I know what it is. They did. Sometimes they make me jump out of my skin and well, not frighten me, but make me feel awkward and horrible. But I know what they're doing, so I let them wind each other up. And I know what they're doing, and I know what to expect every day I go outside that door. And now I don't let it bother me, because I know what it is, and I know what they are. Not very nice people. Alexa, good morning.
Good morning. On this day back in the Cretaceous period, 1993, Jurassic Park premiered. The groundbreaking special effects and snappy quotes made it an instant classic. Life really did find a way.
Yeah, I remember Jurassic Park. Alexa, when was Jurassic Park the film made?
Good morning, Crystal. From wikibook.org. Jurassic Park is a 1993 film about an island theme park stocked with cloned dinosaurs.
Cloned dinosaurs. Alexa, what's the time, please?
It's 8:49 a.m.
Alexa, what's the date today?
Today is Monday the 9th of June.
Alexa, what's the weather outlook?
In Rochester, it's 15 degrees Celsius with mostly cloudy skies. Today's forecast calls for more of the same, with a high of 19 degrees and a low of 13 degrees.
Alexa, can you tell me a joke? Alexa, can you tell me a joke?
Why was the rabbit so happy? Because some bunny loved him.
And Alexa, who was born on this day?
Celebrities born on the 9th of June include Natalie Portman, Johnny Depp, Michael J. Fox, Robert McNamara, and Aaron Sorkin.
Happy birthday to Johnny Depp. Alexa, how old is Johnny Depp?
Johnny Depp is 62 years old.
One of the 80s heartthrobs. 62. The likes of Tom Cruise and Brad Pitt. Brad Pitt. We're all getting older. They're all roughly 10 years older than me. 8 to 10 years older than me. The handsome film stars that I used to watch when I was a young woman. Not so young now myself. Anyway, so the whole of my life is fake. It's orchestrated, and someone's bandied it about that the grand old age of being in my 50s, I'm a prostitute and a hoe, which is absolutely unbelievable. And everything in my life revolves these nasty men, these thugs, and even trying to get someone out to do a repair. They're going to send an unsavoury bloke out. And it goes right back to my flat in Chatham, when they used to send men out. That they sent a BT engineer out to my flat, my old flat, and I didn't have a landline phone. And he was big. He had big nostrils. He had massive nostrils, this guy did. That's what I noticed. He had massive nostrils. And I had a dirty text message before this man arrived, and because the person that's stalking me is a sex predator and a fantasist, and they sent me an email. They used to send me sex stories by email and fantasizing about me being with servicemen, gas engineers, telephone engineers. I'm sure there's a record of it in my emails, saved in my old emails. They're a sexual predator, they're a sex pest, and they used to send unwanted men to my door. Somebody put an ad in Gumtree that I was a Swedish muscle. And believe it or not, 15 men came out to my address over the next 2 of those weeks. I called the police. they they said they didn't have the power to remove the advert, so I had to remove it myself. I called Gumtree and they told me how to remove the ad myself. I think they gave me the code that someone had used to put the ad up, and I removed it myself. They had my full-blown address and my telephone number, and the police at that time didn't do anything for my safety. They didn't do anything at all. If I say the lift is broken, they send men that look like my dad to fix it, or they send about 4 or 5 men with huge toolboxes, because my father Derek threatened to kill my mother with tools in the toolbox. So when we had someone out to fix the lift about 2 years ago, there was about 4 or 5 dirty men sat in the bottom of the lift with drills and blow torches staring at me. Okay, because my father Derek threatened my mother with tools in his toolbox. So everything I do, they're a sex predator, they're a pest, and they think they control my life. But at my age, I'm just interested in my herbal cup of tea and keeping up with the news and listening to my music. They're just sex mad, and you won't believe it. You just won't believe it. That's why I go outside and film everything. I'm sure it's happened to other women as well. I'm pretty damn sure of it. An ex-partner, when you reject them, spreads the word that you're a prostitute, and I've seen it many times. You reject somebody, then they start spreading rumours, and silly little mindless people believe what they're saying, and you are put in danger. And the amount of, this is why I complained to the police. And I still not have heard from PC Woodcraft on the phone. And Charlie is still stalking me. Yeah, I do believe that man can be dangerous. I went round to his flat. He asked me to go round there because he said he had a female friend that could do with some company. And lo and behold, there was a woman in his flat, about 60, long dark hair with bits of grey in it, but black hair with bits of grey in it. And she had these funny glasses on, a bit like Chelsea Liart. You know, I never knew anything about Chelsea Liart until I started watching her. It was a few months ago now, and Chelsea Liart wears her, big glasses. So she was sat there with a pair of glasses like Chelsea Liart, and I felt like she was trying to possibly hypnotise me. and I was telling her how I'd been abused, because I thought she was a friend. And then she started coming out with, I was abused by my doctor. And I don't think she believed what I was saying. And she was coming out with these most ridiculous stories. And I started to think, like, this is an odd couple. This is odd. They're living together in separate bedrooms. He's asked me round to his flat because his girlfriend is like, needs some company. And the chat turned towards how she fancied a driver that had delivered a parcel to her flat. I went round there about 3 or 4 times. It was clear that she didn't want company. She didn't need it, and she said that Charlie I must have been about the 10th woman that he'd brought round to her flat. The 10th woman. And she said she was sick and tired of it. And at first I thought he was a nice chap, because he said he wanted to walk round the field with me. He wanted to, he was worried about me. And she told me to go into his bedroom. His dog was on the bed. There was a workman outside laughing on scaffolding. And he started to turn nasty. He sniped at me, and I thought, I've got to get out of here. He just sniped at me. And she told me that he was she'd met him in London, I think, and she'd taken him in because he was homeless, a homeless alcoholic up in London. And she said that he had sold her knickknacks, lamps and that, to get money for drink. And I thought, I've got to get out of this. This don't sound right to me. But it was awkward because I walked my dog on the field and I used to see him every day. And he conned me. He said he wasn't interested in a relationship with a woman. He was a bachelor. And then he tried it on. And I didn't know what to do. I didn't know what to do. I do feel ashamed of myself because I wish I'd run off. I was alone on the field with this man who was clearly not walking me around the field to be a friend. He was trying it on, and I was on my own with him. And at that time they were building those over 55 flats, and there was workmen standing on the top staring, loads of workmen. And when I got off that people would laugh because he dressed odd. He was dressed like a dirty tramp. And they were laughing at me. People were laughing at me. I mean, these girls that were laughing probably wouldn't have even looked, you know what I mean? They wouldn't have gone with him. They wouldn't have held his hand. And yet he kept trying to grab my hand and hold it. And then he proceeded to go a bit further. And then I told his girlfriend what he did. I told his girlfriend what he did, and she told me to call the police. His own girlfriend told me to call the police. And that's the truth. And now, every couple of days, he's hovering near where I live. Told him about 5 times to leave me alone. I'm not interested. He then said he loved me. I've got it on tape, him saying that. I've got him on tape. The police still don't act on it. What can I do to make you love me? I said, I'm not interested in you that way, Charlie. I was nice to start with. I said, I'm not interested in you in that way. He was on the field again. I said, I've got to go home. And then I spotted him again, and this is how it's turned nasty. I'm being stalked nasty now. They're horrible to me, really horrible. He was by the co-op, and he was like all smug, thinking that I was going to come over and go back to his flat again. And I said to him, I said, no, Charlie. I said, you don't live here. Leave me alone. And I walked, and he went, all right, dear. And that's what he said. He went, all right, dear, he said. And now, every time someone speaks to me on TikTok, it's, how are you, dear? How are you, dear? And these stalkers can get away with harassing it, and the victims almost always have to move, and the stalker carries on their behaviour. You know, he's not nice to me. When I was with him, he wasn't nice to me at all. Wasn't nice at all. Not nice at all. And I have to go, you know, when I see him, it reminds me of what he did and what he said, and it makes me feel sick. I'm not nasty. I don't want to, I just want to be left alone. I don't want to see him. He makes me feel sick. I'll be doing my videos, I'll be happy, and then he'll come out lurking behind a bush. Yesterday he was up at the top of the flats. It makes a woman who's being stalked feel ill. It's not a nice feeling. I'm gonna go now. How I deal with it is I just ignore him. If he attempts to touch me or come over to me, I will instantly call the police, and it'll be a 999 call if he touches any part of my body. See you later.